him. We already love him, and he has a lot to tell us because I think this year is going to be busy for Matthew John Duncan. Welcome to my Zoom, friend. It's so nice to finally speak to you.
Yeah, it's lekker. Thanks for having me.
I've been playing your music for a little while now, and it's very nice to put a face to the name.
Do you remember we had an interview like in the beginning of lockdown?
Did we? Dude, that's how many
Yeah.
interviews I do. I'm so sorry. Was it
No,
telephonic or
no,
was it on Zoom?
telephonic. No, that's obviously why. No, but I mean, you did one with me, and then you asked me something like about jadedness, and I had no idea what jadedness meant. So I was like, I gave you some random answer, but then I had to Google afterwards what jadedness
Oh my
meant.
gosh. I'm so sorry. Next time just tell me and then I'll change the question.
Oh,
But you see,
yeah.
so I do these a lot. Like, and I
No,
speak to
I
so many people all the time, and then I forget that I've spoken to them, and then I'll say something and they're like, yeah, but you told me that. And I'm like, when? And they were like, no, 3 weeks ago when we spoke on Zoom. And I'd be
yeah.
like, I spoke to you on Zoom? Like, am I losing my mind? Am I like, is it because I drink?
You called me and then you forgot about it.
Dude.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, I'm just getting old. That's my excuse. I'm getting old and I'm tired of Zooms.
Yeah, but I'm like that as well. I forget, like, it's like that's exactly what my friends tell me. They're like, you called me to speak to me, and then you forget even just what you wanted to say, first of all.
Yeah.
And it's like that we ever spoke. So maybe it's, yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's nice to see your face. I mean, I've heard your voice, but it's nice to see your face.
Same to you.
Apparently, I don't know, but let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'll like remember as we go. Okay, Matthew John Duncan, Afrikaans, Engels zanger, schrijver, songwriter, artist, very prolific in the South African music industry. Signed to the David Gresham Record Company and has a brand new single out. But before we talk about this new single, I want to talk about the previous single, My Kind. You are legit doing like one English, one Afrikaans at this point.
Yeah,
Why?
so it's I was raised in Afrikaans like household, so it's my home language, but it's like it's the weirdest thing when I write music, I write English, and that's how I think as well. So it's so when I actually have to write Afrikaans song, I write an English song, and then I just like convert it back to Afrikaans. It's I don't know how to explain it. It just that's how it is. So sometimes maybe I'm just quite lazy, and then I don't want to convert it back to Afrikaans, and I just keep it in English. No, I don't have an answer. It's just like some days I feel like writing English songs, and some days I feel like writing Afrikaans songs.
You see, I thought that this was like some grand scheme to like hit both markets at the same time and like get out there to more people and like do all the
We
PR
can call
thing.
it that as well. We can call it that as well.
We'll do that. We'll say that's the actual plan, right?
Yeah.
To be bilingual, multicultural artist. So that when we introduce you, we can be like multicultural, multilingual artist Matthew John Duncan, ladies and gentlemen. Is it going to be English? Is it going to be Afrikaans? Okay. But
let's go for Kosa.
Wait,
let's
what?
connect one. No, I'm joking. No,
Okay,
I'm joking.
okay. I mean, we are ready. We're ready if you can. No pressure though.
Probably not.
Okay, so apparently we spoke just at the beginning of lockdown. It looks like we're coming kind of out of lockdown now. How have the last 3 years been for you?
Yeah, it's been tough. I think my general answer to that is just basically that I think we all went through it together. So it's not like some other person is struggling on their own. And as soon as you're struggling with people and you're connecting with them through this thing that we've all gone through and we're still going through it, it's generally not that bad because there's other people that feel the way that you feel. I think when you're struggling and you feel like you're on an island and no one else is feeling the way you feel, then I think it's like 10 times worse. But yeah, it's been bad, but it's been good as well. Hopefully now with it opening up and the shows are back, and so it's like playing songs to people and seeing how if they like it or not.
Mhm. Dude, did the lockdown and the world kind of falling apart, did it change how you look at music and how you write music?
I think it changed. It's a good question. I think it changed. I changed, so then naturally my music changed. So I invested a lot in writing songs in that time. So yeah, I think it changed, but I also think that you have to write music like that only you can write. So that's the way I think about music. So if you're writing a lot of songs that anyone could sing and anyone could write, then I don't think you're doing yourself justice.
Yeah.
So because you've got a voice, you've got a specific set of skills that you have, and only you have that. So if you use that to your best at whatever, then I think your music will reflect that. So yeah, my idea about music hasn't changed, but in my personal life, obviously things change, and I get older and I grow and hopefully mature. So my music will mature as well.
Let's not do that. I don't want to do that.
Just stay there, stay without responsibility
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready, Matthew. Like, please no. I don't wanna. No thanks. I just want to be 17 forever. I will Botox myself to look 17 forever. And like I need people to treat me that way.
Don't you think you can get some joy out of responsibility?
Okay, elaborate, please.
Love that.
Because I need to know. What do you mean? No. What do you mean?
I think. Okay, you want to go into this? Okay,
Yeah.
I think having responsibility is what gives your life meaning and what gives it joy. So if you don't have that, and you want to stay in a state of like, yeah, I'm not saying this to be rude. Just
No, say it. Say it.
if you want to stay in the state of like being 17, you'll only feel the emotions of a 17-year-old. So, I mean, having a child, getting married, and doing all that stuff, it's like you grow with that. So your emotions and everything expands. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
No,
I
you
generally
are.
think that the responsibility is really it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but I mean, each to his own.
There are those of us that are responsible adults like you, and then there are those of us that look to the responsible adults like you when we're looking for a more responsible adult. You know, when
I
like
get
other
you.
when just younger people look to me, I'm like, no, I don't know, no. We need to find the adults here. You can be that person. You see, I know, you know what the thing is. I think this is the thing. So I've been married. I've been married for 15 years, but we never had
Oh,
kids. Personal choice. And I think that that is the difference. You guys that have kids or people that have kids, they have this inherent responsibility for a whole nother person. And it makes you so much less selfish and so much more responsible for everything because you never stop thinking about this kid. We don't have that, so we can still like have the selfishness, right? So we can sleep late and like drink until 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't do that. So I'm not saying that it takes an element of fun away because it's a different kind of fun. And I think that us without kids, we might get stuck in the back in the day fun. And then at some point I know I'm gonna wake up and go, if I'd had kids, I wouldn't be this selfish and I wouldn't be this person. Like I'd have my shit together, which I don't, but that's also okay. There have to be people like you in the world, and there have to be people like me in the world. You know, that's
100%. Yeah. No, I
otherwise
think
there's
that's
nothing. There's nothing for me
no,
to attain to.
I think that's a good. No, I think that's a good answer. I mean, I couldn't imagine a world more boring if everyone thought exactly the same way I did. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a ridiculous place to live in.
it might work better though, dude. It might work. I'm just saying, like if there were less of me and more of you, I think it might work a little bit better. But
I'm not for sure, but okay.
back to songwriting. So a lot of people say like, I took some time during the lockdown and I sat and I really worked on my music. I wrote some songs. And when you say that to normal people like us, we kind of think that you just like sit down with your guitar or you sit down with a notebook in the sun with a cup of coffee, like very aesthetic, like Instagram vibes. But I know that it's not really like that. What
Yeah.
does songwriting look like for you, especially when you're in a focused songwriting space?
Yeah. It depends on if you're writing with people. So obviously in lockdown, you couldn't really write with people. So that changes the dynamic instantly. So we were like writing over Zoom sessions and stuff like that. And that's horrible. It's a horrible, like, yeah, you can just imagine working like that. But for me, songwriting feels like homework. That's the best way to put it. It's like sometimes you know the answer because you listened in class. So it's like easy going. And sometimes it's like, this is just too difficult. And you just sit with it for like 2 hours, you've got nothing. And then you take a quick coffee break and you come and you sit down and then you have it. Or you have a somewhat other answer to what you wanted to accomplish. But yeah, it's you just summed it up. It's like, it's not that poetic how it appears in the movies. Like they just write this great song.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch A Star Is Born. Like I've only watched the latest one. I mean, but then she starts singing this beautiful song in the parking lot off the top of her head. I'm like, that's not how it works. But okay, like, good for you, but that's not how it works.
Oh, wow. And here I was thinking, like, after 2 glasses of wine, you guys sit behind your piano and just like, dun, dun, dun. And then all of a sudden there's a song. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I know exactly what to sing here.
I've actually never done that. I spoke to my wife about it. I was like, maybe I should try and write a song when I'm like tipsy or something, because like that takes the filter off. So then it's like, but that'd be mood sad though, because then I'm like at my house, 12 o'clock right? in the afternoon, like drinking just to try and feel. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna
There
that's
is
gonna go.
nothing wrong with drinking alone in your house in the afternoon, Matthew. You need to, like, you know what? Just like I need you for guidance and like a foundation, you need me to maybe tell you that it's okay. You can drink on a Tuesday afternoon and write a song. It's for work.
I tell you what, I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna drink at 12 in the afternoon, and I'll send you what I wrote.
Okay.
And then you can check if it's any good.
But who was that dude? There was a famous dude, and he said you should always write drunk and edit sober. He was someone. Mataba, my editor,
I'm
will
not sure,
find
but
it.
that's a good statement.
Yeah,
Like,
he said write
probably an
drunk.
old guy,
Yeah,
probably an
he's
old,
dead.
and they did it very differently. I mean, they were obviously sober on all fronts all the time, and
But we've never had poetry like that again. I mean, you might be onto something.
no, I get you.
All
No,
I ask,
okay,
all I ask
I'll
is
turn my whole
the
life around. I'll become
no, don't. Almanac Frost, 'n nou klein boekie wat voor in die CD is. Please just say
yeah,
thank you, Danny. That's all I want.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, no, we are joking though, and please don't anyone write drunk at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, unless you want to, it's your life. Do what you want. But your previous single, Make It. I want to talk about this because this feels like a big one for you. And it was a big one for you. But personally, talk to me about the song.
Yeah, so I wrote that like I think I started writing it before lockdown began, and then I finished it in lockdown. It was, I feel like all my songs are like this cliche thing, like what would you say to your, like that song is like, what would you say to yourself if you meet your younger self? Like it's the clicheest thing in the world, but I mean it's a cliche because it's true. So I basically just thought of what I would say to my younger self, and then if I kept meeting them every 10 years, like at the same spot, we would get together every 10 years and we would like check how it went, stuff like that. So so that's basically the essence of the song. it's don't tell the other songs, but that's my favorite one. It's a bit more alternative, it's a bit more rocky, and yeah, I was super stoked that that radio stations even wanted to play it. But cool, man.
I love that you're still so unsure about like how good you are. It's very endearing. It's very cool.
Oh,
Don't lose that because you are really, really good, and we do really, really love your music. And you are Matthew John Duncan. I don't think you know, but that's who you are. That dude that sings the songs.
I'm just joking.
I mean, maybe you're not. Who knows? But to
Yeah.
us, you are. Okay, so you have a brand new single. It's called "Tell the World." What is this one about? And don't say it's cliche because it's not. It's you and it's real.
Okay, cool. So I was writing this like concept album, so about this random guy who lives in a random small town, and he just wants to get out of the town. And so all the songs like follow different narratives that he takes and where he ends up and stuff like that. So the Tell the World is just part of that narrative, and it's basically like trying, not a cliche, but trying to become comfortable in the uncomfortable, basically. So just trying to go where your knowledge and what you know to the end of that, and then trying to see what lies beyond that, basically. So that's the essence of the song as well.
It's not the first time that I've heard this get comfortable with being uncomfortable this year. I think this is the message from everyone for the year. Like we've had these 3 years of being slack and like not doing anything. And a lot of people are like, no, now is time for discipline and like getting back on the horse. And we need to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I think that this is the perfect song for now. That's the message. I feel like that's my message at least.
Whatever people, yeah, I believe that whatever you take out of a song, even if it's not even remotely what the guy meant, like that's what it is. It means something different to everybody. So yeah.
But that's music, right? It's subjective. So you can write something and I can hear it. And what you wrote it for and what I hear it as are two completely different things. But that's why it's so magical. And that's why it touches so many people from so many different walks of life. And I think what you get to do every day is really, really cool.
I think what you get to do is pretty cool.
Like, do you want to swap? I can't write songs, but I'll swap with you.
No, I think it's cool, man. You meet so many people and like you actually have a chat with them, even if you don't really know them that well, whatever. You get like an essence of how they are and who they are. I think it's cool. I don't know if I would be able to do your job, but I think it's a cool job.
There's no way I could do your job, but I do just want to stand on a stage in front of a crowd of people and have them sing back the words that I wrote to me. That must be the best feeling.
Yeah. I've only had that like when that happens, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, it's so talking about that, the world is kind of open, right? So that means that we're going back to touring singles and EPs and albums and like doing press and all that stuff and doing tours. Are you doing something coming up?
Yeah, I've so basically going into winter now again. So that's a natural lockdown. So no, basically I'm doing like private stuff at the moment. But I mean, it gets updated like daily, and then I'll just post that on my Instagram or post that on my socials. Although I'm not really that good on socials. Yeah. Not my vibe.
Yeah, you see, you're the responsible adult. You have other things to do.
No, I don't think it's that. It's just I'm really bad at it. I don't like it. I like talking to people and like having a connection with them. But I mean, all jobs have some parts that you don't like. So just suck it up and do it, man.
There we go. See, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, Matthew John Duncan.
It makes sense.
Okay, so I hate asking this because I know that every time I ask this, the people behind what they've just made are like, I've just made you this thing. I've just given you this thing. And now, Danny, you're saying like, what's next?
Yeah.
But what's next?
So, like I said, I wrote that album. Probably not going to release a full album. That makes no sense in today's world.
No.
But there's, I think, recorded and basically done. So I think pretty soon we'll be dropping new music. And yeah, I'm excited. I think the other songs are good as well. And they're all English, so probably have to sneak in Afrikaans one again.
Yeah, you can't break the one Afrikaans, one English, one Afrikaans, one English thing.
Yeah, we're pretty screwed now because because it's gonna be English now for like at least 4 songs.
No, you got to go back to the drawing board, back to your piano. You see, this is why you need to drink at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, because I get good ideas and then I mess them up.
Oh, Matthew John Duncan. Okay, please go and stream. Tell the world it's available on all streaming platforms. Go and support local music. And definitely follow him on his Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Are you on TikTok? No. Okay. Instagram.
That ties into what I said earlier.
Instagram and Facebook. And then hopefully you can come and sing for us and perform your new music sometime soon. Hopefully.
Oh, that'd be like it.
Matthew, thank you so much for your time, dude.
Danny, thank you so much. I really appreciated it.
Jacaranda FM.